Hi friends, this is Beth McCullough. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demo in West Des Moines, Iowa. I'm here every Tuesday night with my sweet husband Steve.
Hi everybody.
And I was going to say how often? A couple times a year with Amy. Yay! This is my oldest son Sean, his wife Amy from Austin, Texas, and whenever she comes, she is a crafter as well as a cake baker. And Amy likes to spend Christmas Eve making a cake. So hold on and watch to the end. Amy's going to give all the details of the cake making that happens tomorrow. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
Usually Amy makes the card. I'm going to make a quick card tonight. And thank you for joining us. The video will be short. What I'm making is these cute little note cards. Aren't these adorable? It says "So Thankful." And then it opens up. And I actually received this note from Karen. I don't know if I'll say your last name right, Kozlowski. And she won one of my cards one week and sent me this sweet thank you. I loved it so much that I made it again a few dozen times. So Karen, thank you so very much.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Exactly. And then I noticed this week it is on sale. The beautiful butterfly stamp set, I believe, is $14.40. It was $24. And the hybrid embossing folder includes the embossing folder and all the dies. That was $42. It's half price. It's $21. So you can get both for a total of $35, which is a great deal. So after you see this, you'll want to buy that, I hope. I think you'll really like it. Too good of a deal to pass up. So, here it is, made in 3 different colors. One idea I had is you could not put the tags on, and you could give, like if you were giving it as a gift, you could give them a bunch of the color coordinated tags with the sentiment on there, and they could put it on. But if they're not crafters, they might not have the right glue or something. Otherwise, you could just put them on for them, and you could just send this out. Whenever you have a thank you note, you would be ready with these beautiful butterflies. On Karen's, what she did is she used a designer series paper for this butterfly here. What I used on this, it's now retired. It wasn't at the time I made these. This was a glimmer paper. It had 3 colors. It was green, blue, and pink. How's that for Stampin' Up!
I
colors?
love it. See, these are the colors I would say.
Yeah.
But I make fun of Beth because the Stampin' Up! Colors have such elegant names, right?
Right.
And I just call them by their basic color name.
So, I mean, this is a Coastal Cabana. This is a Lemon Lime Twist. You can see the, can you see the glitter on the camera?
Yep, you can.
So I am going to show you how to make these very easy with the butterflies. If you don't have a glimmer paper or designer series paper like Karen had, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to use an embossing folder to kind of zhuzh up the center butterfly.
Give it texture.
Yes. So, should we talk about the Stamp Camp and then we'll make the card?
Okay, let's do it.
Stamp Camp is coming up in February. It is, you can order as soon as January 6th. It's $75.25. And Stamp Camp will be the weekend of February 20th to 21st. What you get from me is 13 card kits in the mail. You get a whole weekend of stamping, 13 original live videos. It's demos from all over the world. And super fun, creative things. You will love it. The Stamp Camp doesn't cost anything. There's a small postal charge for the card kits. Otherwise, just by purchasing from me is what gets you the Stamp Camp for free. So if you have any questions, reach out. My email is beth@stampingmom.com. So I know many of you have signed up already, and thank you so very much. Okay, so let's make the card, Steve.
Okay.
So we're starting with a piece of Bubble Bath cardstock. It's 5 inches across and 8 inches long, scored at 4 inches. So it's just slightly smaller than a normal card. And the die, when you buy that hybrid embossing folder, like it says, it comes with the dies and the embossing folder. Here's the remains of my last one. So the key to this is you fold over the card, and it's just a little smaller, and then you put the fold line just under, see that line there? Just line it up under there, and you run it through the embossing folder, and then this is what comes out. The butterfly card, by lining it up that way, you still have the fold of
I
the
was going to
card
say,
to keep
if
it
it were
connected.
me, I would run it through and the two pieces would be separated and it wouldn't be a card
And if you put the die like this, you will get two separate butterflies. But if you line it up underneath this line, I promise, I just did it, and this is what came out. It's like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. Okay, so now we have the base of the card made. And then what I did is I took some, thanks Amy, I took some Highland Heather cardstock, and I ran it through the So Swirly embossing folder, and this, we talked about that, to have texture on this, since I don't have glimmer on here. And you get this. So I'm gonna go ahead and use mini glue dots, or a mini glue dot, and just attach that. And you know, you can do whatever color combinations you want. I'm just lining this up. Okay.
So the butterfly body is separate?
This butterfly body is another embossing folder. So I ran this through. I ran it through So Swirly, and then the butterfly die, and that's how I got this Highland Heather. Now, from scraps of it, I actually ran the big butterfly again, and all I was looking for was the body. So it doesn't matter. This is from my other scrap. Just run it through where there's enough room to get the antennas down to the body, just this center section. And then what I did is I took scissors and I cut from the bottom. And as you can see, it kind of, you just follow this and cut up to the head, okay? I'm saying don't be a perfection about this, and then I'm getting my thing to get the adhesive off that was on there. But just cut up. It's just not hard, okay? This is how you get the bigger body that's gonna go over the top. And then I want the embossing side out. And I am gonna put a couple mini glue dots on there. So Amy and Sean arrived on Thursday. What have you done for fun since you got here, Amy?
First of all, tell them about your reaction when you walked out of the airport.
Okay, well, it was 70 degrees when we left at home. And then when we got here, the wind chill was -1. So that was quite a shock. And it was also 1:30 in the morning or 2 by that point, because our flight got canceled, and then another one got delayed, and it was just a big mess. So we got here, technically it was Friday morning, and it was a real, we might have been tired when we got here, but it woke us up when we went outside, and it was like 40-mile-per-hour winds.
I tried to prepare them, but there was no amount of preparing that was going to work for the people
No.
that were used to 70 degrees.
No.
So they had to spend a lot of money to buy a ticket on the spot to come.
Yeah.
And were you motivated by your haircuts that were Friday
Yes.
morning?
Yes, we get our haircut here, and they're the best haircuts. We can't find anybody in Austin that does them as well, so we had to make it for a haircut the next morning.
So if you live in Iowa, Lindsay Shaw, and is it called Bombshell?
Bombshell, yeah.
Bombshell. Although she's probably full, but she is lovely and so good at what she does. So our Austin kids get their haircut in Iowa whenever
Yes.
they can.
Yes.
So, and Amy got 4 inches?
4 inches cut off.
4 inches
yeah.
cut off. So pretty.
Thank you.
Okay, so I used a couple mini glue dots and just attached that big body over the top. And then this die also comes in the butterfly set. And I've done some thinking of you, so thankful. So thankful is in the set. Happy birthday, that all fits in this die. And then I have thinking of you. I know you have sentiments that will fit in this die. So I put a little glue on the back of that. And I'm just putting this on here. And as I think about it, I did forget the bubble. To make it even cuter, we need to put some bubble bath. See how this has the little dots on here? And it's not too late. It's not a stamping emergency. We will just get them on here. But I would do it before you put the wings on. But I'm using the same color, the bubble bath, and just really randomly putting it where it sticks out, kind of underneath, kind of on the side. So I put one in each of the corners, and then I'm going to do what Karen did, and she stamped 2 in here, and you don't have to worry about something to write on. Usually we put white in a card. If you use light colored cardstock, like Karen did, you can just write your sweet little note right inside. So here you go. We have Coastal Cabana, and we have Lemon Lime Twist, and then this is Bubble Bath and Highland Heather. But you could have fun with the colors. What other colors would you do?
I would probably do orange and black and make it look like a monarch butterfly.
Oh.
That would be kind of pretty.
That would
That
be
is
cool.
a great idea. Okay, so I told you Amy makes cakes.
Wait, are you going to give one of those cards away?
Yes, well, we're going to have to leave your comment on YouTube. We had to record this a couple hours early tonight. Amy and Sean are going out to dinner. We're babysitting. Bree's parents are stopping by to get something. The house is like a revolving door tonight. I know you're all busy getting ready for Christmas, and thank
Isn't it
you to
great?
those of you that stopped by
I
or
love
watched
it.
the replay. But leave me a comment on YouTube, and I will send a card, maybe 2 cards. I have quite a few of these made. But thank you for joining us. Stick
To be
around.
clear, we will do a drawing from the comments on YouTube.
Yeah, so leave a comment on YouTube. And Amy, why don't you tell us about what you're doing tomorrow and how many years you've been doing this for?
So this is my 8th year to do it. I bake a cake on Christmas Eve. It's supposed to be in the morning, but it usually drags on all day just because they take longer than I usually anticipate. And I make a special cake for Christmas, and I put the journey on Instagram on stories, and it's just fun to watch. It was fun. I started it in 2018, and just as like a fun thing to do, and I didn't plan to do it anymore, but the next year people asked me if I was going to do it, so I did it again, and I just keep getting more and more people every year asking if I'm going to do it. And of course I am. So I have my Christmas Eve baking folder. I used to do it at my own condo that I lived in by myself. But now that we travel for Christmas every year, I have my little folder that has everything in it, all my recipes and supplies that I need to bring or get while I'm here. And yeah, so I'm ready to go. I'm going to be I'll announce what it is tomorrow, but it's a special cake. And I've never made it before. That's always the thing. I've never made what I'm making, so.
Which makes it kind of fun.
Yes.
Because you get to go through the trials and travails of figuring it out, right?
Yes. And one of my friends actually said that he likes when I mess up on something because it's funny, but then also he likes to see how I get out of it because I always recover. So.
Knock on wood.
Yes.
Another thing with this cake is it's in metric. For you know how that goes when we do metric or inches. Amy is making a cake in grams for the first time.
Metric measurements, and also the recipe was in French initially, and I had to translate it into English. So
That'll be
So a
interesting.
French metric recipe
Yes.
made in English with ounces, right?
Yeah.
So when we were ordering some of the food, like on a Walmart order, we're Googling how many grams in an ounce, how big of a container do we really need here?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it will be fun. Amy will be on and off. It's not even on the hour. It's just when
just
you get to
whenever
the
I have
next
an
step.
update, yeah.
And how will they know? Will it just pop up on their phone if they watch one?
Yeah, if you follow me, which my Instagram is Amy R. McCullough, then it'll show up kind of at the top. It'll have all the stories, and you can click on it and watch it. And the newest ones will show up in your lineup first.
Okay.
So
they'll show up in order. So if they go to Instagram and type in Amy R. McCullough, and Steve has that on the banner below. So, yes, we hope you'll join her. And give a shout out to Amy tomorrow. Tell her that. Tell her you're a stamper watching her cake, and that
Yeah.
would be fun for you, wouldn't
Yeah,
it? To
yeah,
see who's watching.
What time do you think the very first segment is going to start?
Being optimistic, I'm gonna say 7:30.
7:30 a.m. Central Time.
And
Yes.
sometimes I've watched these in the past several years. She starts out in jingle jammies, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
she gets ready for church, and you'll see the
Yeah, there
whole
will be a
progression.
transformation
Yes.
throughout the video, not just for the cake, but for me too.
So here's the thing, you know, kind of my role when I'm on these things with Beth is, you know, I try and ask silly questions, and sometimes I'm distracting, and I'll be curious to see whether you want any of my questions. So watch it.
Well, and Sean's had some questions in the past too but he also helps with the camera. So, and right now I don't have a phone. It's getting its battery replaced, and I don't know if I'm going to have it by tomorrow morning. So I might be doing it on my iPad. I don't know.
This is part of the
It's
fun.
part of the
It's part of the
challenge.
adventure, right?
The other thing that happens is all the kids and our grandson are here. So in the melee, there'll be game playing, snacks being eaten. I think we're getting cozy cucina for lunch. So yeah, Amy will have lots of distractions and lots of hubbub in the background,
Yes,
right?
and an audience in person,
Yeah,
which is a big difference from when I used to do it alone in my condo.
Exactly.
So.
And then the other thing is every year when she's here, every other year, the cake also gets transported to Kansas City to my sister's house for Christmas Day. When she's at home, it gets transported to Houston.
Yeah, about an hour and a half away.
So every year, does the cake not only have to be made, and it's a hard,
It has to
difficult cake,
travel.
it has to make it to its
Survive
destination
the
for
travel.
Christmas dinner.
And a couple times one time it made it, but like it was a mess when it got there. So it was like 85 degrees that Christmas, and
This is
because it was
Houston.
in Texas, yeah, it was in Texas, and the icing melted in transport, and it slid against the inside of the cake.
So
area.
in Iowa, the icing will never melt.
That won't happen, no.
Well, you guys, please join Amy tomorrow, and we'll be all in the background cheering her on. And have a very, very Merry Christmas. Steve and I will be back next week with a video, and I believe we'll be live, as far as I know. And just have a great Christmas, and thanks for watching. Leave us a comment on YouTube, please. Anytime you like, comment, or share, it certainly helps us. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming, Amy.
Of course.
Bye.